It could have worked, but they cut so many corners in the name of we got to turn a profit.
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
subcontracted out the sanitation and the food. And I love how everybody was subcontracted for sanitation went, ooh, I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
So it's just trash everywhere.
Even the paramedics, they're like, these people need your help. That's shit, let them die.
Yeah, the fire department. Yeah, you got to put fires out. That's your job.
No, I ain't.
We're skipping this one.
My job is to live.
They were like, there's 8 fires going on in there. I ain't going in there. Here's a bucket of water. You go do it.
Yeah, here's some marshmallows and graham crackers. Take your ass out there. We ain't going out in that bitch.
The fire department said no.
Yeah. Double Toasted live in Las Vegas. That's going to be October 8th. And tickets are finally available. x1entertainment.com/double-toasted. Doors open at 6 p.m. Meet and greet and cocktail hour to happen promptly afterwards. So the after party is going to be in the same venue. I think it's like 2 minutes away from the Strip. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a night of comedy, music, games, and as you see, the after party. We're going to have Tone Royal open for us. Gonna come out and do our thing. Get your tickets now. And it's gonna be good because this is gonna be an education for these kids over
That's
here.
right.
They don't know nothing about. They don't know about anything we're talking about. None. But they will. They'll learn now. So, people, Woodstock 1969, Martin. Despite the not so comfortable conditions of that music festival, it was still a music festival full of peace, love, Martin.
Harmony.
And peace, love, and togetherness.
I knew a lot of people who just felt we have to do things differently.
We did.
Oh, you can feel those good vibes going on right there, Martin. Look at all that nasty shit, and everybody is still
the good drugs too.
Oh, and the best drugs out there, Martin. Brought people closer together. Mm-hmm. Woodstock 1999, on the other hand.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
People, that was the festival of rage, riots, and rape. The 3 R's, Mark.
Boy, no shit.
Yeah, people. This festival right here, so this was Woodstock 1999, which they hoped to create the love, peace, and magic of 1969, which obviously did not happen.
No.
And this is prompted.
What changed, Corey?
What changed? That's what we're going to find out, because this disaster here that is known as Woodstock 99, well, they partied like it was 1999, didn't it?
It sure started looking like the end of the world that was predicted.
Yeah. 2000 party over.
Y2K.
Like, yeah, Y2K.
Y2K,
like, hey,
yeah.
wait, I'm supposed to be the one ending the world. What are y'all doing?
Some people knew it was the end of the world, but they didn't think they were getting out alive. They were living in hell over there. This prompted people for 2 decades to ask, what happened? Where did all this go wrong? And that is what this Netflix documentary attempts to answer right here, which is called Trainwreck, appropriately.
I feel like calling it train wreck is just too on the nose. You're like, you don't really need that part.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, that's too easy. That's too nice.
Yeah, I suppose it does make it seem like, oh, well, maybe some people bought tickets and they were fakes.
Yeah.
No.
Trainwreck. Woodstock 99. That's the documentary on Netflix, which hopes to answer several questions. Now, while we're watching this, it's been out for about a week. There's a few reasons why I want to watch this, but let's go ahead and watch the trailer right now. We'll come back with our review.
Woodstock 99.
Kerosene match.
Y'all know I love to go to music festivals, and I actually had wanted to go to that one, and I realized that not only did I did not dodge a bullet, I dodged a goddamn nuclear bomb with that.
Well, I don't know how you would have got to that one, because I don't see anybody who's not white in that crowd.
No, there was.
I was about to say
there was no. There
they
was.
were way in the back.
Oh, you didn't see the whole thing. There was some black people there.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't many, but they were there.
The whole time I was watching, I saw none.
Yeah. Oh, I saw.
What I saw was 80% white dudes with no shirts.
That's correct. There was. The other was
muscles.
the other was 90% white girls with no shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was about 10% black people there. No, I saw some because most of them were working there. But
Yeah, working and on the stage, I saw some.
yeah, but no, there was some black people smattered about out there.
Okay, maybe
Yeah,
6.
yeah, but the reason why we're talking about this is because, man, look, for one thing, the people call this the OG Fire Fest, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
I love that Fire Fest documentary, man. I love that whole story behind Fire Fest. Y'all remember that one, man?
There's mattresses all over the place getting soaked.
Full models built this festival, and then one picture of cheese on toast.
Oh, that is a legendary photo right there. I'll call that one cheese on toast, which is actually a lie because that ain't even toasted. That's just bread.
Bread, yeah.
I love that Fire Festival documentary, man. I've watched it a couple of times afterwards.
Enough to get two going at the same time.
Yeah, I watched both of them. Mm-hmm. That one was on Netflix also, the one that we just looked at, and that's the one I actually think I like the most. But they're both good because they both offer different angles of it. I just love seeing shit devolve into chaos. But Fire Festival, compared to what happened at Woodstock 99, that shit was Disneyland.
Yeah, I thought Woodstock 99 was tame until you got to day 3.
No, and see, that's another thing. The reason I was doing this is because I want to watch this anyway. And since we didn't have too much going on this week and I was going to watch it, I was like, well, shit, let's just review it tonight because I can, it's only 3 episodes and I can get it done. They're not very long. So, yeah, watch this, man. And the more we got into it, I was like, man, yeah, this is worth talking about. Actually, I've learned some things, as in I didn't know it was this up. I remember Woodstock 99 going on. I do not remember all of the press conferences and all of the people who were taking responsibility, people passing the buck. It was crazy, man.
Whoa, there's some passing the buck.
Ooh, that buck is hot. That buck be bucking.
Well, we couldn't have known.
Yeah.
It wasn't publicized. What?
See, here's the thing with Woodstock 99, because we're going to review this, and also I'm going to talk about some things, and then Martin could, you can put your opinions in there too, but I'm going to talk about just personally why, after watching this, I was like, who the thought this was ever going to work?
Right.
This is nowhere near what they were doing with the original Woodstock back in 1969. See, the intention for Woodstock 1999, they were so the opposite of 1969. It was doomed before it even began, just conceptually.
Yeah.
Like the original creator, Michael Lang, who is this guy right here. You want him to take responsibility for some of this, but he ducked out because he died.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like 2 months after they did this. 2 months after they did this, he ended up passing away. I think he had some kind of cancer or something. He was like 73.
He looks like he has something right there.
Yeah.
But he always had a way of just hanging in the back and smiling like everything's going to be all right. We're like, well, he seems calm, so I guess it's going to be okay. And all the time he was just like, yeah, because I ain't going to take the blame for none of this.
This one of the times you're like, you know what, cancer going to do me good because I'm out here. See you. Hey, man, hold this buck for me right here. Yeah, Michael Lang, man. He's in interviews for a lot of the original Woodstock, man. A lot of stuff that was when they were doing a lot of filming, and there's a lot of documentaries out about Woodstock. There he is, right there. And the thing is, he's the original creator, and it was like what baffles me is that he was clueless.
Yeah.
He was clueless as to what made the first festival that he created, or he helped create, what made that work. Completely oblivious to it. And I was just baffled by that. I don't know if he got older and just more business-minded or whatever, greedy.
That's what that was always what was happening, was all the flower children, the hippies or whatever you want to call them at the time. Then 20 years later, they decided they want to make money, and they got very corporate, and they turned their back on all those values they had before.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing here, man.
And yeah, the first one was done out of the spirit of, we're going to bring everybody together, we're going to have this music, it's going to be wonderful. And with this one, it was like, we're going to make money off this.
See, the thing with the original Woodstock is that it was done for profit. The thing is, and everybody's heard about this, it just got so out of control, they couldn't keep the fences up, man. And it just became a free concert. But that led to the whole feeling of Woodstock 1969, man. Once it became a free concert, you know, it didn't have this whole corporate feel to it anymore. Everybody just kind of accepted it. Everybody said, all right, you know what, we're not gonna make as much as we thought we would on it, but this is really cool that it is definitely, you know, sincerely about peace and love, man. For Woodstock 1999, as Martin pointed out, the first thing they said when they started getting this together was, we need to make a profit. Don't you call nobody, don't you do no designs, don't you invite no bands until you make sure we are making money. And that was admitted by one of the organizers himself, one of the money backers, and I forgot the guy's name, and there he is right there. Inconceivable. We don't make a profit. But, you know, he was talking about this. A lot of this came from 94, from Woodstock 1994, because like Woodstock 1969 and 94, the fences broke open and people just got in. And he's like, we didn't make no money. And that's bullshit. That's not happening again.
And I said, do me a favor. Just hold on just a minute. I want you to hear something.
Oh, that's the James Brown
story. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see.
I love how he talks like he's the hero of that story.
Oh, I know. Well, you know what? No, I'll put it on here because that's the thing with Woodstock 99. When it started, it was actually looked like they had a grip on everything. It actually looked like they had a handle on everything. You know, that's the cool thing about this special right here, or this documentary, is that it takes you day by day into you know, the highlights of all 3 days. And right from the beginning, you know, everybody was optimistic, you know, and it's funny because as a person who's watching it, you even kind of forget that this thing went off the rails. It's like, all right, this looks like everybody has control of the situation. You know, there's a situation where this man wanted to pay James Brown when he wanted to pay James Brown. He was trying to do a power move. James Brown said, I'm not coming out and performing unless you pay me. And he pulled some power move on James Brown that got him out there. And I'm sure that put him in the mentality of, oh, you know what? Psh, I got the rest of this weekend right here.
Right.
Shit, I'm the man.
Yeah, look at this crowd I pulled here.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Just hold on just a minute. He knew this wasn't most shows.
You know, it's from that moment where he's like, yeah, this is going well. And that's why he thought, like, you know, he had this, almost had his ego got into it. And that's when they really started pushing the thing into being profit driven. Like 1969, they were getting through the fences and everybody was cool with that. 1994, they had another one that got all muddy and everything. The weather was bad. And so people started getting through the fences on that. And then when they weren't getting a profit, they said, yeah, that's bullshit, man. No, we gonna get our money this time.
At least half of the total audience got in for free. I mean, we absolutely had to make a profit.
And that is where it immediately became a corporate thing. That's because they just sold completely out. You know, there was this like overabundance of everyone trying to make money there.
Sure, especially the vendors.
Yeah, corporate sponsors were brought in. Vendors were price gouging people. Instead of peace and love, you know, there was this, you know, immediately there was this air of cynicism that just spread over everything, and everybody just like, okay, everybody's just as greedy as everybody else.
Well, from the moment people entered and they confiscated their water bottles and made them pay $4 for water, that's where it started.
In the beginning too, had them fools, and they almost felt like, okay, so you pulling a scam, like you taking our water because you know we get in there, we got to sit on that hot ass concrete, and it was sweltering out there. Yeah, you know, it was funny. Even it got so cynical, even the artists, man, that showed up, because the artists, you know, they like, just fly in and get paid and we fly out. Even they started calling that shit out, man. Like one of the dudes from Metallica was like, ain't no, this bullshit, ain't about no peace and love.
Peace and love equals capitalistic venture. There you go. Let's call a spade a spade. Come on.
Yeah, we here to get paid. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, man, you know, that's where you have to look at the attitudes and compare them from 99 to 69, man. You know, well, in Woodstock 1969, I mean, when they ran out of food and things went crazy, people volunteered to feed people for free.
Yeah, everybody was kind of taking care of each other.
Yeah, everybody was looking at each other, after each other. You look at this documentary right here of Woodstock 1999, and you see where, like, where people were feeding each other for free at this other concert. Here, people are drinking shit water because people are selling. You talk about $4. That's when you got there. By Sunday, when they ran out of water and they saw that people are drinking water with shit particles in it, they raised the price of bottles up to $12.
Yeah.
Get the
Julie, by the last day when people were running out of stuff, the people who had stuff were jacking their prices way up.
And Julian, you so cheap, you would have been drinking shit all day.
got that, what's the toilet water?
Yeah, shit is free. Damn, Julian, your breath smell like shit. I know.
Yeah, it's funny. You talk to somebody who's using the water you can get out of the fountain. She's like, well, they're over exaggerating by saying it's brown. It's just cloudy and tinted.
No, some girl got some shit I ain't even heard of called trench mouth. She said she drank some water and she looked at.
Oh, you never heard of that?
No, I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah.
She said she looked up and she had cold sores and ulcers all over her mouth. And somebody said, "Shit, you got trench mouth."
Yeah.
She said, "I thought that's what the bands was playing." You know, that obviously paints the organizers of the festival as irresponsible and incredibly greedy. And yeah, depending on who you're listening to. Depending on the point of view that you take, because another great thing about this documentary is that they have so many different points of view. Now, I'm saying that you get to make your own decision. That decision ain't too hard to make if you listen, because some of these people here, man, because they have a lot of interviews by people who have a lot of different experiences of what happened here, man. And you know what is cool about that is that it comes from people who, it's the organizers, it's the reporters who were there, it's the attendees. There's so many people who are there, and all of them have a different story based on what experience that they had.
I like that they talk to the staff.
Yeah, because the staff, the staff talks about what happened with the business of everything, but the staff is also saying most of the time we're just trying to get the there alive. They said by Sunday, they said that shit turned into a war zone, man.
Yeah.
They said it was a combination between a war zone and a zombie movie.
Yep.
Like those, and not those slow ass moving zombies, like them infected crazy ass fast zombies.
Them 28 days later.
Yeah.
Zombies.
Yeah, they had fools in there working the concert, trying to do technical stuff, and they felt that shit knocking, and like, hey, wait a minute, hey.
Well, shit, even by day 2, the cameramen were getting shit thrown at them. Batteries.
They had something they called batteries and shoes.
Damn.
Think somebody threw a wheelchair up there with the person still in it. But they had something called the Alamo, because they were under siege. They were held up. They couldn't get out of there.
You know what? Even when they ran to that, I was like, why are you going to close yourself off? They're going to break through those barricades. What are you doing?
You looking at that right there? No, people, that's not a concert. That's a zombie attack. Like, they actually had to fly choppers in and tell people, like when you're in war, and then, people call for the chopper. I need the chopper. Get to the chopper. They have people who just working sound like they were in a war zone. Get us the out of here, man. We need help.
Evac.
Now, if you were to hear that and not see, you think they're talking about like Afghanistan, or Bosnia or some shit. Nah, that's Woodstock. I never thought I'd hear something called Woodstock where some people say, get your people out of there. Right. God damn it. It's a war zone down here. Yeah, injuries even look like they were from a war, man. People backstage bleeding profusely from their heads.
I follow them into the medical area, and what I saw was incredibly frightening and shocking.
Oof.
I saw blood on the ground. I saw somebody getting staples in their head.
Yeah, and even with that, those extremes happening right there, the documentary, like all good documentaries should do, they just sit back and let you just kind of make your decisions for yourself, because there's never, even when we're looking at all these shocking images, it's never like a who's right or who's wrong. Just people just making their, giving their testimony, making their statements, and leaving it up to you to make up your mind on how you feel about it, which is what it should be. And you will, because I tell you, before it's done, some of these people just don't know when to shut the f. Some of these people are talking, like mainly the organizers.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of blaming each other.
They're blaming each other and pointing fingers at, like, just not taking personal responsibility at all. To set something up like they're going to, and then but, I'm like, there's no but here.
Like that John Scher right there, Woodstock.
He's
That's
the
the guy,
worst.
the Woodstock promoter. Like he's a nice fatherly looking guy, like real calm. He seems cool at first, but the more you hear him talking, the more you see how he's not too different from some other people, just shifting blame. Like this was their one time right here to sit up here and say, you know what, I'm so sorry for what happened. I take responsibility.
Yeah.
But everybody still, they don't want no lawsuits.
Yeah,
They're still
yeah.
looking to see another lawyer around or
no,
something.
there's things that we probably could have done and we didn't do this.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah.
what really pissed me off is that he kept wanting to blame the
Well,
performance.
hold on. I was gonna say that this man right here, he because one dude just flat out said, "Nah, man, it Limp Bizkit fault."
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, ooh, that Fred Durst and his crazy antics out there, man. If it weren't for him, shit, everything would have been fine. He destroyed Woodstock 1999.
I didn't take into account what a jerk Fred Durst is.
What a jerk, Fred Durst. Yeah, that asshole.
Yeah. Because at first I was like, well, you hired him, you should have known. But then the more I watched, I'm like, Fred Durst didn't tear up shit.
No.
He don't put it on him.
Even if by the end of this clip you're gonna see, they say it ain't their fault. Limp Bizkit gon' Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Biscuit gon' Biscuit. You know, it's like, shit, you the one that invited them out there.
Exactly.
One dude said they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Exactly.
He was enjoying it.
I don't think you can blame Limp Bizkit for being Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Shit. The biscuit gon' biscuit, man.
Yeah.
You know, but there are some people who are even split on that. That's the thing. Like the concert promoters, you expect them to like blame other people, but then there's some reporters who were there that were like, well, yeah, it ain't his fault, but he could have done something. You know, because they say his ego got in, he pushed people. So again, it depends on how you look at it.
That's that guy's narrative. Yeah, even watching that, I was like, he's putting on the show he came out to, that these people paid to see, that he had planned to do. He didn't make anybody do anything.
Yeah, but again, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying that's my opinion of
Yeah.
it. But just watching it, I was like,
But you see how that works? Like, you got your opinion, and then
Yeah.
all these other people, because I've read different articles where like, nah, you know, they did what they're supposed to do. Some other articles like, these are critics who were like, yeah, you know, watching this and even seeing Limp Bizkit footage of it back in the day, like, yeah, he was wrapped up in himself and he could have done something to calm people down. Like, he lent to it. People were out there in danger, you know, he pushed it. So, I don't know. You know, it depends on your point of view. You know, how you... The documentary leaves it up to you to figure it out. They never say he's wrong or right. So then that's what a documentary should do. I was impressed that they got the higher ups to agree to be there, because they made some stupid ass mistakes.
They must have told them, got them there under false pretenses. we just want to do a thing glorifying the great accomplishment you made. now tell us about it. Oh, well, thank you, young man.
I remember Woodstock 99 like it was yesterday. Yes, I hired Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I was surprised by it, because they made some dumb decisions, man. Near the end of the... Okay, so get this. Near the end of the festival, your man over here, the original guy, Michael Lang, he's, after all these people done acted a fool out here and lost their minds and it got violent and crazy and nasty, he's still trying to talk about love and peace.
Yeah.
So he decided that he wanted to have... he wanted to end the concert with a candlelight vigil. Because he wanted to make a statement about gun violence, because Columbine had just happened.
I love that. This idea that this rowdy concert is almost a riot is going to make a statement about gun violence. That's going to do something.
That's going to calm him down. Yeah. Hey, people, can we just get together for the victims of Columbine, please? And these people, no, where's the next act? And that was the next. After the Red Hot Chili Peppers went on, they thought people heard everything from Prince to Michael Jackson being there, and instead they had
Rolling Stones,
and instead they had candles. Now, first of all, no matter they started getting crazy because they thought something else was going to happen, and it didn't. So they lost their shit already. But these people were already insane. These people are already destroying shit. And there was somebody on the phone. That said the last thing that we need to give these crazy motherfuckers is fire.
Yeah.
And what did they do?
They told him to shut up.
Yeah, he told him to shut up. And what did they do? They handed them candles out. And what did they do? They set that shit on fire. They burned that festival to the ground.
It went into a full-on riot.
Yeah. People they already had dynamite and gasoline. They just threw matches at them.
Well, it's just funny with this going on. The Red Hot Chili Peppers sing the Jimi Hendrix song where "Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire."
They did a tribute to Jimi Hendrix. They told him, they said, one of the guys said, Anthony, who's the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis, Anthony, go out there and say something, man. You know, they'll listen to you. And he's like, yeah, I know they will. Burn this down! Fire! Let me stand to your fire. Let me stand. Yeah. And they're back saying, like, God damn it. Yeah, these people were complete idiots with this, man. Complete idiots.
You notice how like so many people had left early. They were like, all right, I've had enough of this. I'm going home. But everybody else, like, no, man, you got to stay to see this final secret act. Ooh, you're going to hear about it, but I'm going to be here for it. And yeah, nothing.
Oh no, the final act was something. And for my last act,
I love how they just kept going on and on.
Yeah, the festival was done. It was done. It was finished. And they like, no, it ain't. Here's something that you need to know about this festival here, because we've been talking about all the people who are to blame. And yes, the organizers, they are 100% to blame for this, man. Just for negligence and being irresponsible and just stupid with
and
this.
Cutting corners.
That's very true.
Because so much of it could have worked, but they cut so many corners in the name of we got to turn a profit.
Yes,
and they
absolutely.
subcontracted out the sanitation and the food. And I love how everybody was subcontracted for sanitation went, ooh, I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
So it's just trash everywhere.
Even the paramedics, they're like, these people need your help. That's shit, let them die.
Yeah, the fire department. Yeah, you got to put fires out. That's your job.
No, I ain't.
We're skipping this one.
My job is to live.
They were like, there's 8 fires going on in there. I ain't going in there. Here's a bucket of water. You go do it.
Here's some marshmallows and graham crackers. Take your ass out there. We ain't going out in that bitch.
The fire department said no.
Yeah. Listen, a lot of people not going to like what I have to say about this because it's going to seem like I'm just going in and talking about a generation of people. And by the way, that's my generation too. There was a lot of Gen X people there. That's the generation I'm from and younger. So I'm talking about my generation, man. But because I've always said this about the generation I came up with, a lot of people at that time, the generation I came up with, they were a different generation of youth than the people from 1969.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a different time. In 1969, man, those people were responding to social movements that the youth in 1999 did not have. When you think about what was going on in 1969 and just a few years before, you had Vietnam. You had the Civil Rights March still kind of going on in a way. You know, you had assassinations of several people. You know, just JFK was a few years before. Martin Luther King was just, that was 1968. Martin Luther King was just assassinated a year before. Mm-hmm. So, you know, seeing all these traumatizing events televised constantly, man, with no distractions of video games. No instant society with the computers that we had, like when I was coming up. Instant everything. No endless amount of TV programming.
Fewer ways to ignore everything that was going on.
There were no distractions, man. And when you look at Woodstock, 1969, I mean, it was like those people really needed each other, man. Mm-hmm. They need to console each other. Mm-hmm. And that's why these people, you know, that's why these people weren't acting a fool at that time, man. The generation of Woodstock 99, I said this about my generation and, you know, a few generations after and before. It was shallow, man. No one had we didn't have the kind of obstacles and big social issues like they had in 1969.
Well, they referenced the movie Fight Club, and that's what that is about, is not having that direction, not having the wars or the purpose. So you got these angry young men who don't know where to channel all this.
Yeah, it was, you know, This was at a time when wars were being fought more by computers and locations and whatnot. It was, you know, we didn't see. We had the distractions. We didn't, you know, even when there were wars going on, we didn't see them. You know, it was a time where people were just kind of coasting, man, and people didn't really have. They didn't have those issues like they did in '69, man. And they'll show you in the documentary, man. You know, when people were worried about the Vietnam War and racism and sexism back in 1969 and, you know, greed and things like that, what were people worried about in 1999 at Woodstock?
I'm sick of the Backstreet Boys on MTV Live. I'm sick of that thing.
There you go.
Mad at MTV because of the Backstreet Boys. That's what they had to worry about. You know, nobody would have been saying shit like that at Woodstock 1969.
Angry about it too.
Yeah. You know, that shallowness was in contrast to Woodstock 69 because, you know, people were high, they were on hallucinogens, but they were still mellow and they looked after each other. Woodstock 1999, that shit was just people were high and looking out for themselves, man. It was mostly led, you know, it was drug-fueled hedonism, man. You know, shit, free love. I don't care if it's free or not. I'll take it.
Right.
Shit, yeah, you goddamn right it's free. Whether you give it to me or not. You know, because that was the thing. One of the most horrible things that happened, and we already said it, was rape. You know, there were at least 4 reported rapes there. And I don't even get into the details, but there was one that was kind of heartbreaking because it was somebody underage. And that underage person probably didn't even know that it happened.
Yeah, they probably passed out at the time.
And I ain't gonna lie, it seemed like it was fun at first because they had the rave tent. And people in there, they didn't give a shit. There was ecstasy being passed around and people against the walls. And I was like, at that moment, like, shit, I wish I was there. And I'm like,
yeah, you would have caught a case.
Yeah, shit, I would have had trench dick. How the hell is that? But, yeah, you know, and that's the funny thing about hearing people say, hey, would you do it again? Oh, yeah, it was a time of my life. And I was like, man, that just kind of feels weird hearing that when you know that people got sexually assaulted there. You know.
Yeah, and the organizers like, well, we would have done something if they had said something.
Man, no, they wouldn't.
I know. Yeah.
I'm talking about. Ain't talking about people behaving like a bunch of animals. Motherfucker, we are animals. This has proved to me we ain't no different from animals out there. We goddamn we Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Which they make the comparison to.
Yes. Yeah, we monkeys like them, man. And I ain't saying that no racist level. We all just animalistic. It just takes the right or wrong thing, the right ingredients to bring it out of us.
The right circumstances that don't go your way.
Yeah, these fools out here like animals and throwing shit around like animals. And I mean, yeah, they were crazy, man. A lot of nudity though. I tell you that much.
That's true.
Listen, on a lighter note, a lot of fine ass girls out there, man. I ain't saying I would have done anything to them, but I mean, that was goddamn.
But just considering how they end up, it makes it, I don't know, harder to.
Well, I don't think all of them ended up like that.
I know, but you're like, did she get raped? Did she get raped? Shit. No.
Shit, there were plenty of them who said, I had the time of my life. I'm like, okay. I asked one girl, would you do it again? Absolutely. I saw everything I came to see. Said, I'll do it again. So I was like, all right, okay. But yeah, that's one of the things you got to look out for. There's a lot of chicks who are probably embarrassed right now seeing themselves on this documentary because they let it all hang out. Ass up in the air, titties hanging out. Yeah, man. So, I mean, hey, look, if you're looking for the scenery there, yeah, you know. It could have been beautiful if so many people weren't getting groped and grabbed.
Right. Well, you know, talking to the concert goers, there was an attitude of like, I paid $150 for this ticket. I should be able to do whatever I want.
That's how they feel.
Yeah.
Like even now.
There was an entitlement that was going on there. You know, somebody said, no, man, asses were flat back in the 90s. Yes, all asses were flat. like we didn't evolve into like bubbly asses until the 2000s. But that's a hell of a statement. MTV reporter, I think a VJ, Amanda Lewis, she ain't changed at all.
I know.
I was like, damn,
yeah,
girl.
Yeah, when they do the flashback to show her, I was like, wait a minute. Is
Everybody.
she a vampire? or is she one of these people who's endless, who they never age, they live forever, and then just to change her identity ever so often? Because I was like, girl, you overdue for changing your identity or coming back as your daughter.
Shit, maybe she's a Highlander. You look something, a vampire. You know, You say that anybody died at Woodstock. Yeah, she did. But she came back. You can't destroy it. To add just another social spin to this, and this is going to probably piss some people off, but those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. And again, I don't mean to put a racial spin on this, but this is another situation. So they made a whole documentary about mainly white people, mainly white males, a bunch of white dude bros out there losing their shit, and they made a whole documentary, 3 episodes, talking about how did this happen.
I know.
You know,
I got sick of them asking that question.
I always talk about how does this happen. You know, and I always ask this because people think like, wow, white people usually don't do this. White people have lost their shit forever.
Yeah.
Every time it happens with white people doing this, people are like, how could this have happened? The riot at the insurrection.
January 6th.
Yeah, January 6th. How could that? Because white people are crazy like everybody else. You know, everybody's crazy. It's like, but see, this is what makes me upset about this, because you make a documentary to ask why people went crazy at a music festival. Because they were drugs, they had a lot of beer, it was hot out there, they didn't handle it right. The answers are there before you even had to cut on the camera.
Right.
But then you turn around and look at people who actually complain and stage riots for when we see people get killed by the police. We see people who actually get mistreated by the government. Well, those people are prone to violence anyway.
Right.
I was like, you know, that's one of the things I'm glad that this came out, because the more we see this shit, because today, you know, we get more and more footage that gets out there quicker, more stuff collected, more ways to see all this shit happening. You know, because somebody said, it's a clear double standard out there. You know, and I'm glad we get shit like this, because now you see that, you know, white people get just as crazy as anybody else. You get, and I'm not even, some of these people got mad. Not all of them were getting, you know, crazy because they wanted to grab titties and ass. You know, some of them were getting mad because they just lost their shit because their brains were fried by the heat.
Right.
Listen, if I had anything negative to say about this, because I'm going to give this a matinee. Now, the reason why I give this a matinee is because it's 3 episodes long, and it gets a little repetitive because they talk to the same people over and over again. So, you know, it's perfect for TV. But then you're saying, well, why not give it a rental? Because a rental seems to, like, you know, insinuate that it's of lesser quality. No, I'm giving this a matinee because while it's just a tad little bit too long, it's very comprehensive still. You know, it's the way they assemble all this and compile all this information. And like I said, man, I appreciated that it let the footage talk for itself. There was more footage that was speaking for itself than the people who were actually giving testimonies. So, yeah, I enjoyed this, man. But like I said, I love looking at stuff like this, you know, just
watching the world burn.
Yeah, I do. I'm a joker with this shit, man. Yeah, so it's a matinee for me.
I love it. That how could this happen? Like, well, the minute you had Stephen Baldwin show up, that's when you know things are gonna go bad.
Who was high himself? You look at this goofy out there. Hey, everybody.
Like I felt a lot like you. I felt like some of it was too long and repetitive, and I was looking at more of a rental or maybe a low matinee. But the 3rd episode, the ending brings it home. When you get to that, because up to that point I was like, I know everybody wants to have that Fire Festival documentary, and this ain't all that. But when it gets there, like, oh shit! All right, you just did it. You brought it home now. Wow, it's a high matinee.
Yeah, no, it's enjoyable, man. I have been wanting to watch this for a while, and I'm so glad that we had the day.
Because I'm telling you, if you're thinking about watching this and you just saw the clips we showed, you think like, oh, they set one fire. No, it's fires all over, and all these towers that they had cameras and speakers on, they are ripping down. It really does look like something out of Mad Max.
Yeah, apocalyptic, man. Yeah, it was wild. Corey Bum Bum says, what's up, guys? Woodstock 99 and that generation. Just want to drop my 2 cents on the discussion. Honestly, I feel one of the major differences that you guys kind of touched on was that trauma. The 90s was one of the very few eras of major peace in many first world countries, including the U.S. While it wasn't perfect, of course, in comparison to the Cold War years and the decade after that, it shows the kind of attitudes at the time versus the 60s. It wasn't until 9/11 that shit started to pop off again, which It's part of the reason why Gen X and millennials are so different. As millennials and Gen Z are going through their own shit. Not that Gen X didn't have their shit to go through, but I would say there was a difference. You know something, I forgot to say this in the review, but I didn't mean to say that before Woodstock, the brand got tainted, you know, just pretty much got shat on, literally. I also forgot to show y'all this, man. People that
playing in the shit
man,
mud.
so this thing was so disgusting, man. You know, there were points where people were swimming in shit water.
So it was just like this river. It was shit mud.
You wanna come to Woodstock? Get in the mud! Yeah!
Boy, pigs and shit, man. I mean, we really are animals, man. They just out there just swimming in shit without a care. And I would say maybe they didn't know, but they right by the porta potties.
Yeah.
You know that shit's leaking. Woodstock, the brand, just got tarnished. I believe that they could do a Woodstock today because these kids today, they are going through some major shit. Like the stuff they're going through, we never would have imagined happening again. And you know, during this time, the new millennium.
Right. Advances in technology and the spread of information.
We never thought we would have seen the levels of hate and lies going on that they are now, the violence that's going on right now. You know, I mean, people, you know, the country being divided where people are just pretty much, they don't give a fuck what democracy is. They just want what they want. You know, right now, they could do another Woodstock, I believe, successfully. You know, learning what they learned from the mistakes of the last one, and also just this feeling again of people just need each other at this moment. They could probably do it, but you know, I don't know. I don't want to find out.
I don't trust it.